Hey guys, a very good afternoon and welcome to a new video of the Trading Academy. In today's video, I'm going to run you guys through a trade that I took on euro dollar, just quickly explain the idea behind the trade and the reason why I took it. So with that said, let's just dive in and see what happened. So to begin with, we are currently situated on the daily time frame, and good to know is that when I personally conduct my own analysis, I always go from the daily to the 4 hour to the 1 hour and then to my entry time frame. So that's kind of like my systematic approach to the markets and the order in which I conduct multi-time frame analysis to give me a full perspective on what's going on all time frames, to make an educated prediction on where the market is heading next. So to begin with the daily time frame, what were we seeing? So essentially, if you look at euro dollar from a whole, what you can then see is that we essentially have seen a push from all the way up here, all the way back down in towards the lows, without really seeing a normal pullback, right? So as you guys can see, if we look just in recent history within the markets, what always happens is that when you see a very large impulse, so an impulse, you will always see a correction. Large impulse, large correction. So what I was waiting for on euro dollar and what I wanted to see was any signs of a potential reversal, which would give us an indication that we would see a pullback after the move from here to here or here or here. So with that said, on the daily time frame, I was looking a pullback mainly due to the fact that we had an overextended move, first of all, and second of all, we were nearing this area of demand. A third reason which you could also take into consideration was the fact that the lows over here, that the lows over here, so this low, and this low were coming closer to one another. So what does that mean? Well, what you generally see in a market which is, let's say, strongly bearish, what you'll see is a big impulse, good retracement, and then one more clear impulse, clear retracement, clear impulse, so just a normal downtrend, right? But what is important in a normal downtrend is the fact that you have a significant difference between the lows. So you have the low over here and then you have a new significant low. But if we look at what the market was doing over here, what you'll then see is that the lows were coming closer to one another and that we were seeing this type of squeezing formation where the lows come really close to one another without making any real significant new lower low. So that for me was an indication that the bearish trend was getting weaker and that we could start seeing some form of a reversal. So with that said, on the daily time frame, the buys were starting to look better and better, and therefore after that I did head over to the 4 hour time frame and started to look for any potential signs of a reversal on there. So the main thing that I was looking at was, of course, a channel or a wedge, which I really prefer when I trade, and which are really good indication patterns or indicational patterns, which can really give you an early indication that the market is potentially going to see a reversal. So in the case of euro dollar, what we were seeing was this beautiful descending wedge. So we have the 1, the 2, the 2, and then what we saw during this week was the third trendline touch, right? So once we made the third trendline touch of the lower descending trendline, I knew, okay, well, we now have channel maturement. And when you get channel maturement, you know that the market is ready to make a certain reversal in a certain direction. So an example of channel maturement would have to be over here, where we had also a 1, a 2, a 3, boom, reversal within the market, right? So that kind of scenario was the exact same thing that I was looking for down below over here. So once we came into the lows on that third trendline touch, I was ready to look for buys. So then going to the lower time frame, to the 1 hour and below, you can then start timing your entry. So the first thing that I was looking at was, of course, the fact that we had this sign of a bearish impulse. So we had this rising or ascending channel, which is of course bearish. So we saw a 1, a 2, a 3, then boom. So after that, I knew, okay, the market's going to head down lower from there. And then once we create a new significant lower low at that third touch of the lower trend line, or if we see a fake out on that second low, we can then start looking for buys in towards the highs. So at that point in time, I went into the lower time frame. So I went to the 30-minute, and the 30-minute was showing me this. So over here, this is your fake out on that second low. So important to know is that you can't just randomly start buying. You need to see an indication of a certain reversal within the market. So on that fake out on the second low, I didn't yet see it. However, on the third trendline touch, I did, because what did we see on the third trendline touch? We saw a descending channel / wedge, right? So we had this over here, descending wedge, where we had a 1, a 2, and then boom, the double bottom down below over here on that second low. So once I saw that double bottom, I was convinced, okay, I can start looking for buys from here. And then what I did is I went back to the 1 hour time frame, and I started looking, and on the 1 hour time frame, I saw that we were starting to break out of this descending trend line, and that we then saw a retest of that trend line on the lower time frame. So going then back to the 30 minutes, what you can then see is that you essentially have over here a break retest of structure. And then what I did was that I entered the market over here with my TP set all the way above at that trend line over there. What I then did was that I set my stop loss underneath structure, and then just entered the market and I let it ride all the way back up in towards the highs. So that is essentially the trade that I took on euro dollar. If you need any more explanation, you can always contact me through the Discord link in the description down below, or through my Instagram, which is also situated in the description down below. So guys, I wish you all a fantastic day. Thank you all for watching, and I can't wait to see you all in the next episode. Thanks guys.